Good morning, Garden of England, Friday morning. Could be drier this morning, bit of a smear, but it's actually quite enjoyable. It's almost Scottish in its nature, soft on your face. Anyway, the dog's barking, maybe this is an important one. On you go, come on you go. So, woke up this morning, had a brief scan of the Guardian, and they seem to be all gleeful about the challenges that RFK Jr. is having in America right now. But here's an interesting coincidence, right? So at the start of the week, Dr. John Campbell, released his video of the time, which was all about the remarkable increase in unexpected deaths after the injections of COVID. And amazing research with 22 million participants coming out of Japan, big extended figures in Australia. I mean, John Campbell's highly respected doctor, and clearly it's highly suspicious. I'll leave that with you for a moment, but then by coincidence yesterday I meet a retired farmer who used to look after all this land, and he was out for his walk, and I hadn't seen him for, I'm going to guess about 8 months or something, and he was looking rather well, you know, and I noticed he was struggling with his walk, and he explained to me, I said, yeah, you're looking well, and he said, no, he said, this is about, you know, I've been struggling for the last 6 months. I said, oh, what's happened? And he explained to me that he's one of these guys who's into getting all the top-up injections for COVID. And he said 6 months ago he went to get his latest one, and he had it, and he was driving back, and almost immediately as he started driving the car back, he had massive pain in his shoulders, down his arms, into his legs. And by the time we got home, he said he could hardly walk. And he spent weeks and weeks and weeks in agony, and he lost his strength. And he said it's taken him months to trust himself to come out and walk. And he said, you know, previously my walking, I was doing 4 or 5 miles a day, and now I'm lucky if I can walk around this little section of the orchard. Just immediately after, and there's Dr. John Campbell telling us about these unexplained deaths and in the particular research you mentioned, they're comparing people who didn't take the injections versus those that did, and there was no excess strange deaths in the people who hadn't had the injection, but just extraordinary figures with those who did. You know, and you'll remember, I'm sure you do, the dog's barking, this must be really important. You'll remember that when I first got into the Wednesday night thing a way back in COVID, I generally just wanted to help people with anxiety, because the media had gone over the top already, and it was a frightening time, and I was just wanting to help, but inevitably because of my own health journey of having to find alternatives to the mainstream way of approaching my situation, was that I was predisposed to wondering, well, what are the people that I trust saying about this? And then it became apparent, didn't it? You know, we were, you know, beginning to get people interviewing who were, what was the term? I beg to differ. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And now increasingly we realise. So RFK is getting a lot of trouble in the media in terms of the moment I'm saying, and you can sense it's a kind of glee about it as I scanned the Guardian this morning. I dare them to go and dig out John Campbell's information that he was revealing at the start of the week, and go and get one of their so-called investigative journalists and go and look into that. The Guardian, this newspaper that I trusted for all those years. To be frank with you, I lost trust with them when As you know, I'm a keen Celtic fan. I've worked with Rangers and I'm proud of that actually, but I'm a keen Celtic fan. And back many years ago now, Celtic fans clubbed together to put an ad into the Guardian, trusting the Guardian. And the Guardian initially took it on, they agreed to print it, and then someone intervened and they refused to publish it even after the Celtic fans paying for it. They had to go and find a newspaper in Switzerland that would be prepared to publish the ad. And it was only about truths. The Guardian, eh? What a disgrace of a newspaper. What a disgrace of a newspaper. And these Labour MPs, when I was 20 and in the Labour Party and getting all wound up about politics back then, and over the years of working in social work in Easterhouse, working with young people at risk and Thatcher's in power, and where is that counter philosophies of inactive people who would question everything that was going on? Where is that all going? And funnily enough, isn't it funny enough, it's the right wing that seems to be taking this stuff up, or at least they're being labelled as right wing. It's a strange world, folks. It's strange. John Campbell is well worth following. Anyway, here's some hope later on. Later on this afternoon, I will publish the interview that I did at the start of the week with an amazing, lovely Minster member who's got an extraordinary story to tell. Just extraordinary, and brings hope that, you know, not necessarily following mainstream stuff all the time and trusting it is the way forward, especially for your health. I'm fortunate I've got a fantastic doctor, and I totally believe in the NHS should be funded to the max. But sometimes, you know, it's people like you and I who've got time to do our own research, because I know for a fact my doctor's completely overrun. How on earth does he find the time to do what I do? Thousands and thousands and thousands of hours in now of listening and reading and following the likes of Dr. John Campbell, who right away at the beginning of all that, way back when it was all beginning to get so bizarre, Boris Johnson, for goodness sake. I mean, it was suggested back then in some of the interviews I had done that, and people I was following back then, that it was all the media's fault, because these weak politicians couldn't stand up to them because they just love the doom stories. And that seemed to be the case all around the world. And of course, who's going to listen to genuine doctors and professors questioning the narrative in the media? So a bit of a rant, but I tell you what, it's hopeful, because wait till you have the joy of listening to or watching my interview with an extraordinary lady, a graceful, lovely lady. And you know what? It's inspired me to do more of those interviews, and the tech seemed to work, which I had trouble with before, but more to look forward in that regards. It's beginning to come down now, the rain. Dog wants me to throw an apple. I'll just steal one off the tree just now. There you go. She's happy now. So, as I say, a bit of a rant this morning, but great stuff to come forward. Now remember, I'm not going to post a link on Facebook. I will let you know that it's been released, and you'll be able to find it here on my YouTube channel. But it seems that if I just provide a link and you go straight from the link to YouTube, you're unable to interact. Therefore I'm not getting the likes and I'm not getting the subscriptions and all that stuff we need to make sure that you get access to these videos, and that YouTube channel can actually begin to get some of the things it deserves. And there's so many Mindstone members, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands have no idea that I do this stuff. And yet, as we hear in the interview that will come out later, it was precisely because of watching a previous interview that this woman's life completely changed. You know, I make these videos to help people, but you can help. You can participate by liking and subscribing and, more importantly, sharing. And I tell you what, there'll be people in your life that will benefit if you share the interview that's coming up later today. I can't wait to share it. And I'll tell you something else. Right when she got involved with me recently, if I had said to her, you know what, we're going to be doing an interview with you on YouTube in a few weeks' time, she would not have believed that was possible, because she was, as you'll see, she's massively out of her comfort zone in the interview. Not for her, but for you and your loved ones and your family and friends and colleagues. But you've got to get out of your comfort zone to trust yourself to share. But there you go. If you're a Mindstone member, for goodness sake, you must understand there's no growth without getting out of comfort zones. And you've got all the tools and techniques. And yes, some people might reject because of the paradigm that they're stuck in. They might reject you for sharing a video that's only telling the truth. Just like Dr. John Campbell at the start of the week. Never mind his interview that's up in his YouTube channel from yesterday. Only seeking the truth. A trusted doctor. Anyway, have a fantastic weekend. I fully intend to. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye now.